When Nike first came out with the Vaporfly, they were well ahead of the pack. But now people are saying they're playing catch up. Does the Vaporfly 4 do that, or are they still falling behind? Now for some changes from the Vaporfly 3. The Vaporfly 4 now has less stack height at 35mm instead of 40, like a lot of other super shoes, making it a lot lighter. They've also made the upper lighter, making it more breathable, and also changed the laces. They've also changed the layout of the carbon plate, making it steeper over here and closer to your foot in the back and further away in the front. And they've also changed the outsole too. Now let's get into the stats. As I said, the heel stack is 35mm and 29 in the forefoot for a 6mm drop. It also comes in at 180 grams in my US men's size 10. It also comes in with the full ZoomX midsole, which is Nike's premier racing foam. During my warm-up, I did feel a little bit of heel slippage, so I did use a runner's knot, which is available on this shoe. The upper is also a lot better, especially with its lockdown with a better race feel. Not like the Vaporfly 3, which is just really roomy and you just felt like you didn't have that much stability. The tongue is not gusseted, but now that it's on top, it's a lot easier to put it on your foot. Unlike the Vaporfly 3, where it still wasn't gusseted and to the side, making it so you had to try putting it on a few times. During my workout, that's where the Vaporfly 4 really shined. It felt really smooth and comfortable going through faster reps and striders, and even though the toe spring isn't as much and quite a bit lower and not as exaggerated in the Vaporfly 4 than the 3, I still felt like it was going smooth. Reducing the heel stack in the heel and the forefoot really did make it a lot lighter and more nimble, feeling better at higher speeds, but it did reduce some of the cushion that you would need for stuff like a half marathon and marathon. So I do think making the heel a little shorter does really differentiate it from the Vaporfly 3, making this more of a 5K, 10K shoe. Nike's redesigned plate really does show in the workouts. The steeper angle in the middle over here and it being a little bit more firm gives it more leverage, creating a better toe-off sensation. During my cooldown, I did feel like it's not the best for recovery. Of course, you shouldn't be using this shoe for that. There's a lot of other shoes which are more comfortable, softer, and will last a lot more time than the Vaporfly. Now for durability. On the Vaporfly, the outsole in the front is now a full piece of rubber, unlike the Vaporfly 3, which is perforated. But in the heel, there is very little rubber, just one piece here, and this one even has a hole in it with a lot of exposed midsole foam on the bottom. They've also done a cutout in the bottom to reduce weight, just like the Vaporfly 3, which could get some rocks stuck in there, making it get a little bit damaged. If you're not on the lighter side or you are a heel striker, this shoe might not be great in terms of durability. There is a little bit of ripping of the midsole and the heel because of those two rubber pads, which I don't think are good enough because of a lot of the exposed midsole foam, but I know they're doing that just to reduce weight. Because of the redesigned heel, just like the Vaporfly 3, it is a little bit unstable for heel strikers, which I think could turn some of them away. Now for the pros, I really do think this shoe being lighter with that reduced heel stack really does make it a lot more nimble. It also has a lot better lockdown with this new upper compared to the Vaporfly 3, and it also has a really smooth feel at faster paces, which I think is great for the 5K or the 10K. A lot of the cons of the shoes comes from being a heel striker or from the durability. If you are a heel striker, it might be a little unstable, and the two small pieces of foam leave a lot of midsole exposed. Now for my final thoughts. I do think the reduced heel stack does make it better for the 5K or 10K, maybe for the half marathon, but definitely not for a marathon. Reducing the stack height really did distinguish it from the Vaporfly 3. Also, it does feel more nimble and smooth, and the lockdown is a lot better on the shoe than Vaporfly 3, making it feel more like a race day shoe. So I do think Nike has improved the Vaporfly. It's definitely better than the Vaporfly 3, and I think this will be staying in my rotation for my races. Would you buy a shoe, and do you think Nike have really improved?